You're listening to Lore Friendly. On today's episode, we're going to talk about Bethesda's fix for stolen Fallout 76 items. Maybe talk about a little bit about The Witcher and
random
some
shit
other
that we've
interesting
literally
topics.
just Googled 5 minutes ago.
Yes.
Come on, let's be honest with our audience.
On that note, so the other day, I'm going to hit you with another random fact. I know you're still searching for Genghis Khan's corpse somewhere. I know that's been taking up all your time.
No idea where he is. We've been looking everywhere.
Have you tried using a magnifying glass? Because that's what Sherlock Holmes uses, right? He
yeah, but he's not like Genghis the Tiny.
That's true. We don't know that. We don't assume. We haven't seen his feet. And you know what they say about people with big feet.
They rape a lot of people. That's what they say, isn't it? They spread their seed over a third of the world's population.
I thought it was people with big feet have big shoes.
You're thinking in a completely different way to me, Chris.
That, or they're somewhere in the woods and we haven't found them. They're a very hairy beast. Bigfoot.
Oh no, is this a Bigfoot fact?
No, it's not a Bigfoot fact. I was listening to Song Exploder the other day, and you know that song, Closing Time?
Yeah. Yes. Don't they play Closing Time in Chinese malls to say it's closing time?
That would make sense. I don't know. It would make more sense to play it in a bar, right?
Yeah.
Like, you would think it's a song about, like, closing time at a bar and, like, last call, right?
Yeah.
So, apparently it's not.
Oh?
It's a song about childbirth.
I beg your pardon, what?
Instead of leaving a bar, it's about a child leaving the womb. And like the beer that it's been drinking or whatever alcohol it's been drinking is actually the amniotic fluid in
what?
A woman's uterus.
Is this just some random Reddit theory?
No.
Or is this actually...
This is actually the basis of like a lot of the lyrics. Like it's a double meaning kind of thing. Like this is straight from the horse's mouth, more or less. The songwriter, the singer is saying this. His girlfriend or his wife, I forget, was pregnant at the time and having a kid. And he was like a big fan of Elizabeth Bishop poems, and those have like double meanings in them.
Yeah.
And so he wanted to make a song about that had a double meaning, and the double meaning was it's a song about childbirth. And if you look at the lyrics, it mentions a lot of stuff about like your brother and sister are waiting outside, and you know, I want someone to take me home, or I know who I want to take me home, right? So I guess he's talking about, you know, he wants his parents to take him home because, you know, or if it's a girl, she wants her parents to take him home.
Go on, pick out the most difficult lyric to interpret as leaving the womb.
I don't know.
Look through the song. Let's look through the song and let's find the...
But see, like, there's lyrics like, turn the lights up over every boy and every girl. Like, time for you to go out and go out into the world.
One last call for alcohol. So finish your whiskey and beer. I wonder what that parent's been drinking, because you're not meant to drink during your pregnancy.
No. But see, he said that's referring to the fluid in the womb. The amniotic fluid, I believe it's called.
This room won't be open till you... Ah! I hope you found a friend in your mum's vagina. I mean... Yeah? Okay.
What other songs have we been completely misinterpreting? Is Toss Your Coin to Your Witcher? Maybe it's about Jaskier's like heroin addiction. I don't know.
Well, I mean, Geralt's hair is white, and heroin's traditionally depicted as being white, or cocaine is.
There we go. We solved it.
Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of getting really high.
Yeah, there you go. The Valley of Plenty. It's just a big mountainous like thing of cocaine. That's all it is.
It's just a big
so
old
plenty.
pile of coke.
Yeah.
I think that works, actually. I'm not going to lie. That's an interpretation that works. So let's go through Toss a Coin to Your Witcher now.
We already solved it. It's solved.
No, but there's so many more lyrics that we've got to have dual meaning to. Come on. Da, 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 da.
Did you also know that Wolves of Jorrvaskr is not about the companions at all? It's about my neighbor's dog.
Is it really?
No.
Because I could understand that, because Fiona fucking hates wolves. She fucking hates them Wolves of Jorrvaskr.
And you hate my neighbor's dog?
I mean, no. But maybe you put those words into my mouth because you can make me say anything, Chris, because I'm a voice actress.
Yes.
I get what the toss a coin to your Witcher is. Basically,
What is it?
the elves and the silver-tongued devil, right? Those drug dealers. They came after me with masterful deceit, broke down my loot, and they kicked in my teeth. While the devil's horns minced our tender meat. That's his addiction, you know, churning at his insides.
Kicked in his teeth. Isn't that like a meth thing, though? Not a cocaine thing. It's like a meth thing. I guess he does all the drugs.
He does all the drugs. He's basically like fucking Jesse in Breaking Bad.
That's true. I don't know anything about drugs, though. Apologies to all cocaine users. Cocaine might also do that to your teeth. I'm not sure. It's just generally bad for your health.
He thrusts every elf far back on the shelf. He's trying to overcome his addiction. Geralt is a metaphor for him trying to fight back from his need and desire to escape his
Sure, why
desire
not?
for drugs.
Elf on the Shelf, though. Nice reference there.
Oh god,
You've
not
heard of
fucking
Elf
elf
on
the
the
shelf.
Get ready for closing time in the womb. I don't know.
Get ready for the closing time and the hosing time. They don't hose pregnant women, do they?
No. What? You mean like take a fire hose and just spray
I
them?
don't know what fucking
Congratulations.
goes off when you're giving birth. It's not something that I've personally experienced.
I have never experienced it either, but I would imagine that the doctors and nurses don't come in with a giant fire hose and start spraying off the fucking mother, you know? just
I
to clean
don't
her off,
know
you know?
what the new method of giving birth is. I mean, you can have water births where you give birth in a nice deep pool. Why not fucking sprayed by a fire hose births? I don't know. Who are we to judge, Chris? Who are we to judge?
Okay, so how about you've heard of Elf on the Shelf? Get ready for closing timer in Mama's vagina.
I love it.
There you go. There you go.
There we go.
Semisonic, if
We're
you're
only
listening out
a
there.
year late for that meme. It's fine.
It's all right. It's all right. Memes are eternal, except they're not. They have a very short shelf life.
No.
A very short elf life
No.
on a shelf life.
No.
That is interesting, though. Shelf life, it means something that's short, but elf life is something that's long, because elves live a long time. So it's contradictory in a way. It's elf on the shelf life. Elf life on the shelf life.
Basically means that you're just going to be on the shelf for ages and ages and ages. You're basically a can of beans. You know, long
Or
shelf
Marmite.
life. Or Marmite. Nah, Marmite doesn't last very long here.
Oh, good. That's a good thing.
They've actually released in the UK Marmite peanut butter.
Ah, interesting.
And I don't know how I feel about it.
Speaking of Marmite, Fallout 76 just had a fix for that whole stolen
nice
inventories
transition. So why don't you give us a bit of a context on the whole...
thing. Okay, so I think about a month ago or a couple months ago, like somebody discovered a hack where you can basically steal everybody's inventories. Like you take all, more or less. You know how you like go over a chest and hit R and it takes all?
Yeah.
It would just basically run that script on anybody who was even like close to you. So like
What?
I could go stand next to you and take all your items is what I'm saying.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was bad. But
Could you
they
imagine
quickly
somebody just
patched it.
coming up to you on the street and doing that?
Yeah. Well, it does happen actually.
Not instantly, though.
No, not instant. No, if it was instantly, I wouldn't even be mad. I'd just be impressed. If someone came up to you on the street and next thing you know, all your stuff is in their possession, I would be like, how did you do that? First of all, shame on you. Second of all, teach me how to do that, because that is fucking impressive. That is bending the laws of physics. So if someone did that on the street, I would immediately be impressed.
You toss a coin to your Witcher. Oh no, he's stolen it.
That's pretty much what would happen. Then I would probably question the nature of my existence and assume we're all in a simulation. But that being said, Bethesda was quick to patch the simulation. And they also found a way to return your stolen items. But the way they're doing it is pretty interesting. they actually have an old version of your character stored on their like servers, and they're basically like starting these like meetups where you would meet your old character, and that old character would give you all back all your stolen items. And that is crazy. Like you said, it's like some kind of like shady back alley meetup is what you said, I believe.
Yeah.
And it almost feels like, to me, it's like very timey-wimey. It's very Doctor Who-ish. Like you're meeting your past self, but it's not you. It's controlled by somebody else. It's like
You know what it reminds me of?
What?
So when I used to play Oblivion, when I got bored of it eventually, I would experiment with cloning my character and speaking to myself. And so I'd experiment with that and just see what dialogue options were open to me and things like that. And there were quite a fair few. And then I'd just kill her and strip her naked.
Is that what you would do to this poor Bethesda employee who's just trying to return your clothes?
I had a closet full of my own dead bodies. I was psychotic.
I mean, I imagine that some people are going to try that. Like, they're going to meet up with their, like, clone self. Bethesda employee's going to be controlling them. They're just going to, like, whip out their gun and just shoot the employee, I think. But they're probably invincible or invulnerable, I'm guessing. But that will be interesting. Those will be some interesting exchanges. Like, hey.
I think you get some really cool screenshots.
Yeah, I think you can. I mean, there's going to be some that are, like, super positive. Like, people are going to take, like, fucking selfies together and stuff. That'll be cool to see. And like, hey, I got my stuff back. Plus, not only do you get your stuff back,
I met Tim.
It's like the stuff that didn't get stolen, you have double of it now, probably too, right? So you could like auction that stuff off. I mean, it's pretty ingenious. It's just funny. It's just,
and they're also giving people 40 quid's worth of atoms or something, which is nice compensation, to be fair.
Yeah. I mean, especially if you like love the game, that can go pretty far. I mean, for me, I never really spent money on atoms. Like, you just earn them by doing quests. But yeah, having extra atoms is always fun because there's always something that you want that's in the store, but you're like, fuck, I don't want to pay for it. So if you get free atoms, even better. Like, I think it took me like a couple quests to get my fishbowl lamp. I was so tempted to buy it, but I was like, nah, I'm not buying it. I'm gonna earn it. And eventually when I got it, I was like, yeah, fishbowl
it's all
lamp.
worth it.
Yeah. It has like little fish swimming inside the lamp. It's really cool.
It's all about the journey, isn't it? It's all about the journey.
So yeah, that hopefully that's like the last big like scary like hack, but you never know. There's always going to be more. People are going to like try and hack the engine.
Yeah.
And do shady shit. So people
it's always the case. Yeah. I think my favorite example of people exploiting a script, it goes all the way back to the deadly plague of WoW. So have you heard about that?
No, I have not.
Basically, there was this boss who had an area of effect thing, which was transferable to other players.
Oh, like a disease.
Yeah. So it was like a
coronavirus.
That, very relevant and topical at the moment. But basically, players would purposefully get infected with this area of effect. Now, whilst they couldn't carry it out of the boss fight area, their pets could.
Oh.
And so the pets would carry it out because they'd transport out of the boss fight area at the same time as the people. And the pets would start spreading it, and it caused an absolute pandemic. When moderators logged on to try and sort it out, they got killed. It was mass hysteria. And I actually think that it ended up being used as a real-world study for how pandemics occur. It's like how Gaia Online is used as a massive example of how to tank your economy in 10 easy steps, because they ruined their really successful website by just pumping loads of gold into it. It was basically the Weimar Republic of the internet.
Yeah, so maybe the people who are studying the effects or the spread of the current like coronavirus stuff are looking to WoW for inspiration or to help understand it. Who knows?
Well, we need an outbreak every 100 years or so, don't we? You know, it's just the natural way of the world. I think it could be worse. It could be the plague.
Yeah.
Like, we used to get the plague a lot.
Yeah. But at the same time, I mean, like, your hygiene habits, or our hygiene habits in that particular era, were not the best.
I mean, are they now?
Probably not. Speaking me personally, probably not. I do need to bathe more, but it's I don't go outside, so it's like
Yeah, nobody
very
needs
little
to
reason.
know.
Yeah.
Nobody needs to know that you're not. I mean, if you don't go outside, you're not going to get the virus. You're going to be fine.
Yeah, exactly. I'm immune, more or less. I'm going to be the last person on Earth because I don't fucking step outside. I don't make contact with people. It protects me. It insulates me. There you go. I'm safe.
You'll be fine. Meanwhile, I have to go out and interact with the public every single day.
Yes. Oh no. Oh no. Be sure to wear a mask.
I've been eating a lot of ginger. A lot. That's the way to beat the coronavirus, guys. Ginger. Shit ton of ginger. And garlic. Or is that just...
garlic's always good.
I mean, it's basically just for the common cold, but it's got the exact
And
same
vampires.
symptoms. Exactly.
And vampires. You're protected from all sorts of monsters. You're basically a witcher.
Exactly.
Speaking of which, what episode are you on?
Speaking of which, so I've currently just finished episode 6. And I'm really... You know what I'm getting from it? And I'm probably
What?
going to get slaughtered for saying this, but the whole Monster of the Week thing is really enjoyable. It's got the hints of the overarching story. It's got the jumping about everywhere timeline. But you know what it really is? It reminds me of Buffy
What?
the Vampire Slayer.
Okay.
You know, like the early seasons, Monster of the Week. That's what it's reminding me of.
Yeah, I can see that a little bit. So you didn't find the timeline confusing because that's what tripped up a lot
I'm
of people
finding the
online.
timeline very confusing, but I think it's slotting into place.
Yeah. I thought it was fairly easy to follow. Once they showed like little boy Foltest at the whatchamacallit, there was like a little gathering, a party for all the witches.
Yeah.
And then they like cut, I think, to old guy Foltest, and he's like, oh, okay, that's two separate timelines. Yennefer's in the past, Geralt's in the future. And then I think when they do some of the Ciri stuff, then you realize like Ciri's even further into the future. She's the present, more or less, right? Yeah. So you basically, there's just 3 timelines, I think, right? It's like Yennefer's like the furthest back, then Geralt, then present day.
And they've
Ciri,
already
right?
merged together quite a lot.
Oh,
The
okay.
Yennefer and Geralt storyline has merged together quite well.
Yeah.
Already.
So I mean, you can basically sort of follow it from like
Yeah.
the visual clues, I think. So
I think the thing that tripped me up the most was episode 3. So when Geralt goes to court and he's looking after the bard, and it confused me because they didn't age up the actress playing the queen, and the lovely young lady playing the queen's daughter looks exactly like Ciri. Which is fantastic, casting and stuff. But I was just really confused because I was like, but
I think
Ciri's
the
also
clue-
here and the queen is dead.
I think the clue there is that the queen is not dead.
Yeah,
That's the big clue. But the other clue I would say is that her husband, she hadn't married the husband
Yeah.
yet. So then, it's basically, okay, this is prior to that. So
it just threw me a bit because I don't think I'd properly realised that there were these separate timelines going off until it got to episode 3.
Okay. Yeah, I think it threw off a lot of people. So it's not like it's abnormal for that to happen. It's definitely a large percentage of people who were thrown off by the timeline.
There was also a week between me watching episode 2 and episode 3, so I was very confused because I kind of forgot what the actors looked like.
Yeah, I think because I basically spammed. What's the word for it? What's the word when you watch them all at once? Binged. Thank you.
Binged it.
I binged it. I basically binged it, so I think that made it easier too. It was just easier to follow. Another criticism is, I guess that I don't know how many episodes are there?
I thought there was 8, but now I think there's 10.
Okay. Oh, basically because of the way they sort of structured it, I guess more or less they cut like a part of the books where Geralt and Ciri meet in was the forest name Brokilon Forest?
Yeah,
I think it's called.
something like that.
Or did you watch the Brokilon Forest part with
Yeah.
Ciri and yeah. Geralt and Ciri I think meet there for the first time in the books. like I think having that in there might have been a little bit off for the TV show, so I sort of kind of side with the TV show people there, but I do feel like they should have met somewhere. Like maybe when they were at the beginning of the show when they were playing that game of
Yeah.
that maybe like Geralt and Ciri, they don't know each other, but they meet and they sort of interact briefly. You know how they have that in
Yeah.
a lot of shows where two important people meet, but they don't know who each other are. Like they don't know that destiny is going to bring them together, but they just meet and talk, and then they separate, right?
Yeah. I think it might well have confused the timelines a bit more, though, if they did have that meeting. Because at the moment, you've got your two very distinct timelines. So the Yennefer and Geralt runs merge, and then Ciri's just off doing her own thing, playing with elves.
Yeah, but
Playing
the
in the
main
woods.
thing about that is that if they don't meet, it makes their eventual meeting like
It takes away the
it's-
significance.
like having them sort of have that initial bond and then like realizing like, oh my god, that was Geralt, oh my god, that was Ciri, and then
Yeah.
so that they recognize each other as just like it's more impactful. So that was like a big complaint from a lot of the book readers. Like you cut the Brokilon Forest stuff and it totally undercut everything that happens after. I tend to kind of fall in the middle where I feel like they could have compromised by having them meet like in the first episode or something, just casually, you know? Like, hey,
Yeah.
what's up?
I can't remember if you said, had you read the book series?
I have not.
I mean, if there's one thing that's for certain, is that this TV show is making me both want to play the game and read the series.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's
I'm sure they're
definitely
really good.
doing a very good job of encouraging me to do that.
I would definitely read the books before you play the game though, because or watch the TV show all the way through, because the TV show stuff and the books all happened before the games. And so a lot of
It's a
I think,
big prequel.
yeah, I think a lot of the context is lost if you don't. Like I kind of regret playing the games first now, because like I admit when I played the games, like a lot of this stuff was just it's over my head. Like people
Yeah.
kings and queens and political sort of like strife, and like it all went over my head. It makes a lot more sense now that I've watched the TV show and say, oh, this is why everyone hates like Nilfgaard.
Yeah.
Like
Because
they're
they're
like
dicks.
yeah, yeah. And this is like Ciri's connection to Nilfgaard and all that stuff. And like,
Yeah.
whereas like playing the game straight, you're just like, what? Nilfgaard? But they have like the cool black armor. What's wrong with that? I don't get it. Who
It's
are these
clearly the evil armor, Chris.
people? Yes.
Come on.
Is that it? Is that it? Ah.
Yes.
So if the Nilfgaardians were wearing pink armor, then like everybody'd be cool with it. They'd be like, yeah, come on in, invade.
Yeah, be like,
pink
yeah, some nice pink armor. You're looking great. It's grand.
Maybe not pink. Maybe something more like just like white. There we go.
White armor.
White armor, like a paladin.
But then it'd show
paladin
all the
army.
blood. So it's not a very deceptive colour. I think pink could be better because pink, if you get the right shade of it, it's going to hide the stains.
Ah, there you go. There you go.
That still look friendly and warm.
But it's not like blood color either.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
That's the problem with Nilfgaard. It's their fucking marketing people. They just don't know what they're doing. They wanted to be like fearsome and dark and but they should have been thinking we got to market ourselves as the good guys.
Yeah.
Pink armor, rainbow armor, just like hey.
Like Renly's Rainbow Guard.
Yes, there you go. When you see Renly's Rainbow Guard, you do not think they're the bad guys. You think, oh wow, they're on the side of justice.
Oh my god, they're also chivalrous and LGBT rights.
Yeah,
Excellent.
yeah, there you go. There you go. And then J.K. Rowling rages and all that. So you're liking the show, right?
I'm really
It's good.
enjoying it, yeah.
It's good. It's good. I like it. I'm really looking forward to season 2, and you should definitely
Which has been
play the games.
confirmed.
Yeah,
2021 is the
I-
proposed release date.
And once you get your new computer, you can play the games. The
I
games are
mean,
really
I've got
good.
my new computer. I just don't have an operating system, an office system, or a monitor.
Or the time. 'cause
So
time is
I'm getting there slowly. Just not
Yeah.
quite yet. Just not quite yet, you know?
It's a big time investment too. That's the thing.
Yeah. And at the minute, I only have like an hour every third evening.
As opposed to me, who lives the privileged life of having all hours of every day.
All hour, every day. Just enjoying your life, man.
Yeah. It's a good time. Although this year has been kind of like year in the the grand scheme of things. Not me personally.
It's only been a month as well.
Yeah.
It's so exhausting.
Just don't pay attention to the news. It's just. Ooh.
Oh, I wish I couldn't. Speaking of world-ending news, so what has happened is that the NHS is coming out against loot boxes.
Oh, nice.
So we all know them, we all hate them. Loot boxes. Basically, you pay a bit of money and it comes out with a randomized item, which might not be worth what you've put in, but you're tantalized by the fact that you might get something worth, I don't know, 1 million credits, something like that. I don't know.
It's kind of like scratchers.
It's kind of like scratch cards, yeah. It's basically gambling.
Yes.
And unfortunately, it's currently not regulated by the Gambling Commission here in England because the contents of the physical loot boxes themselves, they can't be monetized. They can have a value on them, but they don't have any monetary payback, which is a loophole. It's a big old loophole.
Yeah. I mean, it's just kind of like vending machines where you buy like a mystery item or whatever, right? And then oh boy, it's like an egg full of used condoms. I don't know.
Woo! Just what I've always wanted.
Yeah. It's a clove of garlic. That's what it is.
Yeah, so basically, NHS England has said that the gambling thing needs to reiterate their rules, tweak them slightly for the evolving digital age of gambling.
Yeah.
And calling on the banning of games with loot boxes. Now, hasn't that actually been done in certain countries? The banning of loot boxes?
Probably a Scandinavian country.
Yeah, I think it was Sweden or Norway, something like that, where loot boxes were actually ruled child gambling.
Loot boxes banned in Belgium.
Ah, not as Scandinavian as I thought it would be. There we go. No. Good on Belgium. I love Belgium. It's a beautiful country.
Great waffles.
They are actually great. If you ever get the chance to have an actual Belgian waffle, oh my god, do it. Because...
So loot boxes. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's good to sort of close up all these loopholes for loot boxes and other gambling stuff, because it's you hear all these horror stories about kids. They'll spend like $30,000 on loot boxes, and they'll just be like, "Oh my god, this is the greatest thing. I'm just gonna spend all of mom and dad's money on."
It's ridiculous.
Using a credit card.
Like, this is why I'm glad I don't have kids. Like, I refuse to lend my cousins my phone to play a game on it because I don't know what they might do.
Yes. Plus, you also don't want to get hit with a fire hose. So
God, no.
You don't want that experience.
Just
so that's
generally nightmarish.
It's a big deterrent. And plus, it's going to be super awkward when you start playing Closing Time. And all the doctors and nurses are just like, what? Why is she singing this song about, like, fucking leaving a bar? And you're like, no,
it's
that's
about
the
metaphor!
But yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Loot box is bad. NHS good. You guys still have that, NHS?
I mean, it's survived so far.
Yeah,
let's not talk about it. It's bitter. It's a bitter, sore subject. That was the reason why we had to do the hiatus, Chris.
Don't worry. You'll be fine.
It's all right. My friend's training to be a doctor anyway, so she said that she'll give me mates rates. It's all good.
Plus all the tips I gave you, like using super glue.
Yeah, exactly. Using super glue. I get my guinea pig medicine cheap anyway, so it's all good.
Yeah. Calling an Uber instead of the ambulance.
Yeah. Speaking of the guinea pig, she's being really cute at the minute.
So there's a lot of...
She started taking treats and prancing away like a dog. So you give her a treat and she prances away. With her nose up in the air, just like, this is mine.
Yeah. She's a very haughty guinea pig. She's the Altmer of guinea pigs.
She is. She is literally going to rip out your heart. She's more like a Bosma.
Okay. And eat your heart?
Yeah, she would definitely eat me if I was dead. She tries to eat me when I'm alive.
Yeah.
She's
a dragon monster.
She tries to do kisses, but it's actually just her biting me. Maybe
that's the meaning of the song Dragonborn Comes. Like, she's our hero has a warrior's heart. Yeah, our guinea pig has your heart. in its hands and it's going to eat it.
That would be the cutest picture ever. Oh my god, that's what I want on my grave.
Yeah, give your guinea pig a Dragonborn helmet. There you go.
So next week on the podcast, the splash screen is just going to be a photo of my guinea pig with the Dragonborn helmet. And that's it.
But we've gotten rid of splash screens because I'm fucking lazy.
Yeah,
so
fair enough.
All right. So tune in next week where we talk about other stuff and I give you another random weird fact.
I'm loving all these random weird facts. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, I do too. I should have started doing this sooner. It's just like I browse the internet way too much and I learn a lot of weird things that I'm probably going to forget tomorrow. But there you go. Okay, so that's it for this episode. See you next week.
Goodbye.